Hello there. Today I was going to take a look at a sparkling wine from Tasmania, Australia's southern island. So this is a Jansz premium cuvee. It's a Brut non-vintage, and this is made by what they call the Méthode Tasmanoise, evidently. I'm not quite sure how that differs from the traditional method, but that's what their marketing information says. The project to produce Jansz was started in 1986, and it started as a combination between Roederer, the Champagne House, and Heemskerk, who were one of the larger, earlier producers making wine in Tasmania. They produced their first vintage in 1989, and this worked as a joint venture until Jansz was sold to the Hill-Smith family, who owned Yalumba, in 1999. Roederer had been attracted to Tasmania. Roederer had been attracted to Tasmania because they felt that the climate here in the Tamar Valley, in the Pipers River area, was comparable to that of Champagne. It can get really quite cool here because of the proximity to the Bass Strait and the cool Southern Ocean, reducing the temperatures. The name Jansz evidently refers to Abel Tasman, the first European to see Tasmania, and evidently his full name actually was Abel Jansoon Tasman, so that's where they get the Jansz name from. The vineyard here is planted on red, free-draining basalt soils, and in combination with the cool climate, the free-draining soils make this a very good area for quality viticulture. They have 30 hectares of vines planted, 15 hectares of those being Chardonnay, 12 being Pinot Noir, and the balance being Meunier, or Pinot Meunier as it used to be called. The approach to winemaking is that the fruit is hand-picked as whole bunches. It's pressed as whole bunches, so you're getting very, very clean juice. Fermentation going on at cool temperatures in stainless steel tanks. All the wine undergoes malolactic conversion, so that's a means of reducing the harsh, sharp, tart malic acid and just making the wine softer and more rounded. They refer to a complex process of assemblage, so blending. Now, although they have Meunier planted, my understanding is that this is a blend of 66% Chardonnay and 34% Pinot Noir. So when they're saying it's complex blending, I'm assuming that's different vineyard plots being blended together, different fermentation lots, but also possibly the addition of some reserve wine. It doesn't specifically say that, but wine from previous vintages which would add a bit of complexity and sort of more rounded nuttiness to the wine. The wine then ages for 18 months at least, so a minimum of 18 months, with the yeast lees in the bottle, sur lie. And what happens during that period is, after about 9 months or so, the yeast start to break down and they release proteins and sugars into the wine. And those proteins help amend the surface tension so that you can get smaller, finer bubbles. And also you will get some yeasty, bready, doughy characteristics coming out into the wine in terms of flavour. So let's have a look at it, shall we? I would say there were some reasonably small bubbles rising there. It's not the finest of beats, but it's pretty decent small bubbles. You've got a palish lemon colour, maybe a hint of green. There's a mineral note, really almost chalky, and then the yeastiness is showing there. Yeastiness, quite clean yeasty, but then sort of more bready, and then perhaps a little tiny touch of sort of Vegemite or something like that. So let's taste. Despite the malolactic conversion, there's actually quite sharp, there's good acidity there, but straight away there's a toasty note, there are doughy and bready notes from the yeast. There's a real freshness, and then you start to get notes of sort of red apple, and the red apple notes is coming more from the Pinot Noir. I mean, obviously the Pinot Noir is pressed with no maceration, so there's no colour coming from it there, but there's still some sort of richness of flavour that's really quite nice on that. In the mouth, the bubbles are fine. Sweetness, there's just a slight roundness. I mean, I should imagine this has got sort of 8, 10, maybe 12 grams per litre of sugar. It's not absolutely dry, but for a sparkling wine, that's still brew, so completely dry. There's a nice length of flavour, and that toasty, yeasty breadiness is continuing in the mouth. Maybe not the finest of beads, but pretty good. You know, this is not the most expensive sparkling wine around, but it's soundly made. It's got some nice complexity. It's got freshness at the start, a bit of roundness towards the end. That's really enjoyable. So thank you for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the tasting. If you have, do please like and share. Do leave your comments. We'd love to hear what you think about this wine, other wines you've tried, or other related matters. Do consider signing up and following us on YouTube. That would be great. And then hopefully you'll join us for another tasting in the very near future. Thanks again. Bye for now.